Yo, what's up everybody? MKBHD here. We're going back in time today. The year 2000. Remember Y2K? People thought computers would go haywire. Spoiler alert, they didn't. This is the Nokia 3310, a phone so iconic, it earned a place in tech history. Before iPhones and Galaxies, mobile phones were clunky with antennas and monochrome screens. Then came September 2000. Nokia dropped the Nokia 3310. It was a statement of durability, simplicity, and style. The 3310 quickly gained a reputation for being virtually indestructible. Buckle up, tech enthusiasts, as we uncover the legend of the Nokia 3310. We'll break down its design, features, and why it earned its reputation as the tank of the mobile phone world. Picture this, the year 2000. Folks were rocking baggy jeans, blasting Britney Spears on their Discman, and mobile phones were a thing. Back then, mobile phones were mainly for making calls and sending the occasional text. The market was dominated by giants like Motorola and Nokia. Amidst all the flip phones, a new contender was about to enter the ring. Enter Nokia, a Finnish powerhouse. Nokia was already a household name in the year 2000. They had a knack for churning out reliable, user-friendly phones that people loved. Their next release would solidify this reputation and become the stuff of legends. In September 2000, the world got its first glimpse of the Nokia 3310. It wasn't flashy, it didn't have a color screen, and you couldn't browse the internet on it.
The 3310 had insane battery life days on a single charge. The design was sleek, compact, and solid. This wasn't a phone you had to baby, it could handle a few bumps and bruises. And let's not forget about Snake, the simple yet addictive game. Who needed fancy graphics when you could chase pixels on a monochrome screen for hours?
Nokia knew they weren't targeting tech-savvy early adopters with the 3310. This was a phone for the everyday user. Its simplicity was its strength. It made calls, sent texts, and played Snake like a champ. The Nokia 3310 was significantly cheaper than its competitors. It was a phone for the people, by the people.
All right, let's talk design. The 3310's design was all about function over flair. It fit perfectly in your hand with a curved back that made it comfortable to hold. The monochrome screen saved battery life. And those buttons? Clicky, tactile, and satisfying to press. The 3310 was about being robust and reliable.
The 3310 didn't have a high-resolution camera or 1,000 apps, but it had everything you actually needed in a phone. You could make calls, send text messages, and it had a calendar, calculator, and stopwatch. The 3310 had an alarm clock that could wake the dead. In a world of overcomplicated gadgets, the 3310 was a breath of fresh air. It was a phone that did what it said on the tin, and it did it well.
One of the coolest things about the 3310 was the ability to customize it. Remember those Express-on covers? They were like the phone cases of the early 2000s. You could get covers in every color imaginable. The 3310 wasn't just a phone, it was a fashion statement. It was a reflection of your personality and style.
Snake. Anyone? Let's be real. No conversation about the Nokia 3310 is complete without mentioning Snake. The premise was simple. Guide your pixelated snake around the screen, eating dots and growing longer. But man, was it addictive. Hours were lost, friendships were tested, and thumbs were worn out. Snake on the 3310 wasn't just a game, it was a shared experience that connected millions. It's still way more fun than most mobile games today.
Let's talk about the feature that truly set the Nokia 3310 apart. The battery life. This bad boy could go for days on a single charge. I'm talking about heading out on a weekend trip and not even thinking about bringing a charger. The 3310's epic battery life wasn't magic. It was a testament to its simple, efficient design. The monochrome screen and lack of power-hungry apps contributed to its incredible longevity. It was a simpler time, my friends. The 3310 was primarily designed for making calls and sending texts. It didn't have a giant high-resolution display constantly draining the battery. It was a phone stripped down to its bare essentials, and that's what allowed it to achieve such remarkable battery life. In a way, it's a reminder that sometimes less is more. Imagine a world where you could leave your house without the nagging feeling that your phone might die on you. A world where you could actually enjoy a conversation without being interrupted by notifications. That was the world the Nokia 3310 thrived in. It was a world where we had the freedom to disconnect. Maybe it's time we all took a page from the 3310's book and embraced a little digital detox. Disconnect to reconnect.
Remember that feeling of panic when you realize your phone is about to die and you don't have a charger? Yeah, that's charging anxiety. But for owners of the Nokia 3310, charging anxiety was a foreign concept. The 3310's legendary battery life meant you could go days without even thinking about a charger. It allowed us to live in the moment and explore the world without constantly checking our battery percentage. The Nokia 3310 will always serve as a reminder of a time when our phones were there when we needed them.
Now let's talk about the tank in your pocket. The Nokia 3310 wasn't just a phone, it was a legend forged in the fires of durability. This thing was built like a tank. You could drop it from a table, down the stairs, and it would just keep on ticking. The 3310 was the Chuck Norris of mobile phones. It feared nothing.
Drop tests? We laughed in the face of danger. These days we're obsessed with drop tests. But back in the day, with the 3310, drop tests were a joke. We were the drop test generation. I remember dropping my 3310 countless times, and it never broke. The 3310 taught us a valuable lesson. It's not about how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up.
Tales from the trenches. Real-life stories of 3310's resilience. The internet is full of legendary stories about the Nokia 3310's durability. Stories of phones surviving car crashes, washing machines, and even being run over by trucks. Where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Construction workers used their 3310S as makeshift hammers. People dropped their 3310S in toilets, dried them off, and they still worked. The 3310 defied logic. It could survive anything life threw at it. The ultimate survival tool, disguised as a mobile phone.
Immortalized in memes. When durability becomes a meme. The Nokia 3310 isn't your average phone. Its legendary durability has been immortalized in countless memes, like the classic Nokia 3310 versus Meteor meme, or the Nokia 3310 can survive the apocalypse meme. These memes speak to a deeper truth. The Nokia 3310 is synonymous with durability. It's a badge of honor, a symbol of a simpler time. So, appreciate the legend next time you see a Nokia 3310 meme.
The Nokia 3310 wasn't just a phone, dude. It was a cultural phenomenon. It was the phone everyone had, or knew someone who had. It was the phone that could survive anything. At least that's what the legends said. I mean, this thing was everywhere. It was in our schools, on the streets, even in those cheesy early 2000s music videos. It was like the 3310 was an extra member of the band, always there in the background, just vibing. And remember those ringtones? Everyone had their own customized jam, from classic monophonic beeps to cheesy pop song snippets. You could hear a 3310 ringing from a mile away, and you knew it was about to go down. But the 3310's cultural impact went beyond its physical presence. It represented a simpler time, a time before smartphones ruled our lives, a time when we could just chill with our indestructible phones and play Snake for hours on end.
Let's talk about the 3310's second life as an internet meme legend. This phone is so meme-worthy, it's ridiculous. It's like the Chuck Norris of the tech world. The classic Nokia 3310 can survive a nuclear blast meme. The only thing left standing after the apocalypse. Nokia 3310 versus iPhone meme, where the iPhone shatters and the 3310 just shrugs it off. They're trying to break a Nokia 3310 meme. People going bonkers trying to destroy it, and the 3310 is just like, is that all you got? These memes capture the essence of the 3310's legacy, the ultimate symbol of durability, and the undefeated champion of the internet meme game.
Hold up, let's take a trip down memory lane. Remember when you could drop your phone without having a mini heart attack? Remember when you didn't need a case, screen protector, and insurance plan just to keep your phone in one piece? Remember those epic Snake battles with your friends? Those late-night text marathons using T9? The satisfaction of slamming that battery cover back on after swapping Express-on covers? Yeah, those were the days. The Nokia 3310 represents a simpler time, a time when phones were phones, and we weren't glued to our screens 24/7. It was a time when we weren't bombarded with notifications, when battery life was measured in days, and when a cracked screen wasn't the end of the world. The 3310 evokes a sense of nostalgia, a longing for a time when things were less complicated, more durable, and built to last. It's a reminder that sometimes the good old days were actually pretty great. So why does the Nokia 3310 still hold a special place in our hearts, even after all these years? Sure, it's not the most advanced phone, it doesn't have a million apps, and you can't even swipe right on it. But maybe that's the point. In a world of fragile, over-engineered devices, the 3310 represents something pure, something unbreakable, something that reminds us of a simpler time. It's a reminder that technology doesn't have to be complicated to be great. It's a reminder that sometimes the best things in life are the simplest things. And it's a reminder that even in the age of smartphones, there's still a place for a phone that's built like a tank and lasts forever.
Man, time flies, doesn't it? We've gone from chunky phones with monochrome screens to sleek slabs of glass and metal that can basically control your life. It's crazy how much technology has changed in a couple of decades. But looking back at the Nokia 3310, it's clear that this phone wasn't just about making calls and playing Snake. It represented something more. It was a symbol of durability, simplicity, and a time when phones were built to last. And you know what? In a world where we're constantly bombarded with new phone releases, each one claiming to be thinner, faster, and more feature-packed than the last, maybe, just maybe, there's a lesson to be learned from the 3310's minimalist approach. Maybe we don't need a phone that can do everything except make us a cup of coffee. Maybe we just need a phone that works, that's reliable, and that doesn't crack the first time we drop it. Just saying.
Comparing the Nokia 3310 to a modern smartphone is like comparing a tricycle to a Ferrari. Your smartphone today can do it all. It's your camera, your gaming console, your GPS, your wallet. The 3310 made calls, sent texts, and had Snake, and its battery lasted for days. You could drop it, throw it, and it would still work. The simplicity and durability of the Nokia 3310 still resonate today.
The Nokia 3310 might be a relic of the past, a blast from simpler times, but its legacy lives on. It's a reminder that sometimes the most basic things done well can have a lasting impact. It's a reminder that durability matters, that battery life is king, and that sometimes the best games are the simplest ones. And let's not forget the memes, man. The 3310's meme game is still stronger than ever, proving that true legends never die. So the next time you're scrolling through your smartphone feeling that phantom vibration in your pocket, take a moment to remember the Nokia 3310, the phone that could survive anything, the phone that brought people together through snake battles and those iconic ringtones, the phone that earned its place in tech history.